Unscripted, uncensored, and unprepared. It is time for the Blunt Force Gamers to return. And once again, it's me. Ha 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 ha. Who am I? Oh, I'm Game Goblin. Yeah. And we're kind of like slow and lazy today because it's getting warm.
Fuck the heat. Fuck it. This is not what this is supposed to be like.
Prepare your ear holes. The Blunt Force Gamers are in heat.
What do you mean? I'm feeling good here, man. I love this weather.
Oral sex.
Says the dude from New Mexico.
Hey, we are the people of the sun.
Praise the sun.
That much is evident.
Alright, so it is me, Game Goblin, back with...
Darth Blasphemous.
The moniker, back again.
Kazarkan, the Lord Dragon.
And, standard intro, and then we'll get right to the topic today, which is people being fucking unprepared.
Yeah, punch that shit.
Punch it! Feeling tired at the gaming table? Want to hear foul-mouthed jackasses poke fun at gaming companies when they screw up? Want an honest, street-level opinion from a team of gamers that call it like it is? Then Blunt Force Gamers may be the podcast for you.
Listener discretion advised.
Guys, I have... If we may backtrack just a sec, I have a really important thing I need to ask you guys. It's kind of serious, but it does relate to our last episode.
I'm not gay.
It's serious. I'm going to ask for...
Oh, serious?
For a little somber attitude here.
Be prepared, we're changing our mode, guys.
Yeah.
All right, ready.
Do it.
Given the choice, would you get a blowjob from Melina or just have regular missionary sex with Devora?
Oh.
She has an exoskeleton. It's going to be freaky.
Melina.
Okay.
She does have lips. It's just you got to worry about the side grind, so you don't drift too far off on either side of the racetrack.
Okay.
You got to stay in between the lines when you drive.
Okay.
Sure, I'll go with that.
Kaz?
I choose not to pin an opinion on these.
No. You got to choose an opinion.
Is your microphone on? I can barely hear you, dude.
Damn well should be.
Okay,
Turn it on.
Talking to the microphone.
Well, ain't got opinion because I don't know what either of those characters look like. I'd have to actually look first.
Okay, we'll catch that up at the end of the episode so you can Google for a while and just,
Perv it up.
All right.
Yeah,
my takeaway is that I'm the only Devora banger here. Fine.
Well, some people are into insect stuff. I mean, there's a kink for everything nowadays.
I mean, come on, can you imagine that?
This one wants to please you.
Okay, so back to the topic at hand. So I had a great idea.
Unprepared.
Well, you guys are unprepared. I've been thinking about this all day, although I've been up since God early.
Well, the extent of our preparedness is like we get together and think of, well, hey, what
can we have fun fucking off with
today? What should we record today?
Well, we used to try and actually get stuff together, and that was with a larger group, and no one really paid attention or followed E3. My bad.
Yeah, well.
But,
do it.
So, it seems we're in the day and age where superhero movies are coming to an end and everyone's sick of them. Star Wars is being made into the dirt. So, what are some of the best and worst book, game, or comic book turned into movies? And what are, the best, the worst? I mean, we're talking...
The good, the bad, the fugly.
Yeah, I'm talking about the movie I refuse to acknowledge its existence other than this one time. Dragon Ball.
That was right.
Evolution.
Oh, we're starting off on the bottom of the barrel.
Well, we want to end on a high note. I kind of like doing that.
Okay.
But
well, at least one of us does.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation. There's my worst.
How do you fuck up a movie like Mortal Kombat with cyborgs? How do you do it? How do you fuck that up?
A lot of green screen, a lot of ninjas jumping through the air, and overacting.
Yeah.
Too bad this podcast will die.
But yeah, I mean, stuff like that. Like, I mean, hell, they made Battleship the movie.
Which was fucking dumb.
Well, we all know that Hollywood is creatively bankrupt.
What else is new? I mean, hell, Disney got its start by doing European lore that was, public use. That's how they got their thing going.
Actually, a lot of them started up doing European lore that was public use. But yeah, Disney is one of the biggest offenders out there.
Granted, they had to edit a lot of those European tales. Because, The
Kid-friendly
actual
they are
endings
not.
and how those stories when it's not safe for kids.
True.
Stepsisters cutting off parts of their own feet just so they can fit on a glass slipper.
Or, banging Sleeping Beauty while she's still zonked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the past was horrible and fucked up. But, I mean, that was adaptations. The Disneyfication. But I'm talking about, like, some of the best. I mean, some of the movies that have come out that they adapted from something that you're just like, wow, they actually did that really fucking well. What do you guys got in that arena? What's the best?
Yeah.
Is The Lord of the Rings a cop-out answer? Because, I mean...
Well, hold on. Are you talking about the animated one?
Oh, Christ, no.
Fuck no.
Okay, so the live-action remake from recent era.
Oh, yeah.
As long as you don't include The Hobbit, because
No,
it was a fun movie to watch,
of
but
course not.
I love the book The Hobbit,
Yeah.
and fuck that movie series.
Yeah, I mean, it was... I'll say to The Hobbit's credit, it was kind of cool to see some of the extended lore, even though it was not in the book at all. It is still canon to the universe of Lord of the Rings. And I'll take it a step further. To the credit of the 1970s animated Lord of the Rings, the music in those movies was really good.
See, I prefer
Really
the
good music.
animated version of The Hobbit, but that's just me. I'm a little biased. But
Yeah, no, the
besides things on me
The
that
Hobbit
are
was good
small,
animated.
what about the rest of y'all? What's the best adaptation you've seen from book to...
Mortal Kombat, the first movie.
Really?
Yeah, I give that one a pass, because before that, a video game turned into a movie. It just never worked. I mean, we all have the story about two plumbers going to Plumber Land and jump boots and dinosaur people things and stuff. A lot of the video game to movie adaptions before that were so suck ass. And then, of course, they did take a few leaps in weird parts, and a lot of the crew came together. Like Robin Shaw, during a lot of the directorial scenes, was actually like helping out, so it became more of a collaborative effort. I mean, they had the Highlanders show up, and of course he pissed off his agents because they were like filming in Thailand, and they're like, "No, we're gonna film you back in the States, in front of a green screen." And he's like, fuck that, I'm going to Thailand." So he flew out to Thailand against his agent's advice, and then he throws the after party and the rap party when they get done with everything. So he was like totally legit. He was like the Zen center of the movie, because everybody's freaking out, but he is the tried and true star power guy. So if he's not panicking, everybody else isn't panicking. So he kind of set the tone behind the cameras. So the entire movie became a collaborative effort, and when it finally hit the screen, you could tell they were having a lot of fun making the movie in the background, and they put a lot of work into it. Lyndon Ashby broke like 3 ribs, was pissing blood for a while. So these guys were putting their all into the movie, and it showed when it hit the screen finally. It's not the best video game to movie adaptation ever, but it did start a new path where, they could make a good movie.
Yeah, and I think what was important about Mortal Kombat, because I remember I watched that on Netflix one night a few years ago for the first time, and I just thought, it's going to be shit. A 90s action flick based off of a video game, oh boy, I'm in for a good time. You know what? The movie was a lot of fun. The action was enjoyable. They captured the characters really well.
And it had the greatest 90s EDM track ever.
It really did. And I think what was also really cool, the little... when Reptile showed up.
Oh, yeah.
That was great. He was the secret character in the game, and he was the secret character in the movie.
And, of course, they did the voice announcement for it, so you knew shit was going on.
Yeah, you actually had Shang Tsung, when he went into the statue, became the human, ninja reptile. Reptile.
Yeah, you heard it in the
Lovely.
background. It's just a reptile. And you're like, oh, fuck, this is going on.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, some of the fight scenes were a little bit out there, with the flips and the kicks that didn't
The
connect.
bicycle kick.
The bicycle kick.
Yeah.
But overall, the movie did really well in a lot of aspects.
Yeah, I read a comment just recently. It was some guy who actually did see it in theaters, and he said when Reptile did appear on screen and that happened, he said the entire theater just started cheering. Because it's like, oh my god, Reptile!
I was going to run a game that evening at the local game store. I was down at Great Escape Games, which is now defunct. And as a side note, fuck the original owners. That's a whole nother story entirely. But I was gonna run game, and everybody's like, "No, Mortal Kombat's coming out tonight," and I'm like, it's a video game to movie adaptation. Fuck it, I want to run game. It'll be better if I just sit here and corral you monkeys into doing something.
Yeah.
I was gleefully disappointed. They took me out to see the movie, and I watched it. I'm like, I'm glad I skipped game for this shit.
Well, what about you, Kaz? What's one for you that's a great adaptation? It could be anything. I mean, you could even bring up the World of Warcraft movie if you like.
One, that was garbage. I can tell you without ever having watched it. It was garbage. Second, another really, really sad one was, in fact, the Mario Brothers movie, live action. It was cringy at best. It was a cute film as a kid, but, like, after you hit about 10, not so much.
Yeah, I remember my brother and I, we rented that from Hollywood Video back when it was still over there off of 99.
Holy God.
Yeah, it was on VHS back when people still watch VHS predominantly. And
wow.
My brother and I were really little, and we had always grown up Nintendo, and we saw that there was a movie, a live-action movie about Super Mario Bros. Sign us up. Joe's favorite character was Yoshi. And then to see that it wasn't a cute little dinosaur with his little orange boots, but just a straight-up Jurassic Park Velociraptor. And then to see it get stabbed, he was a little scarred from that.
I would be too.
Yeah.
I think my best, though, was Ultraviolet. I actually rather liked the Ultraviolet movie. It was cleverly done and had well executed and well toned special effects for what it was for.
Being a fan of Mia Jovovich, I also enjoyed the fact she was wearing a skin-tight outfit. But yeah, it was actually not that bad of a movie. I picked it up, watched Ultraviolet, and actually it was a good popcorn flick in my opinion. If you don't take it seriously, it's good.
Yeah.
All right, I got one for you guys. And I think it's a trilogy. I never caught beyond 2 because my eyes hurt. The Dungeons and Dragons movies.
Actually, yes, there was 3 of them made originally.
Yeah, see, what was it? The first one had... what was his name? He played the bad guy that wanted the Red Dragon Scepter.
Yeah, and then again, he shows up in the next movie.
No, that was the guy that was his number 1. Was there trying to raise the dragon in the whole elemental...
there was the bald guy who showed up in, like, most of the movies. Then they did the sci-fi original, which was just utter shite.
I haven't seen that one.
There's only one good thing about that movie. Only one good thing, in my opinion, that's Lux. They get the barbarian chick, and she is just like, I want some of that action. She's like full-on Viking chick, just like get in there and just fuck shit up.
Sweet.
I mean, the CG in that was so bad, even for the day. And I owned that on DVD and watched the special features. We were like, this is how we made the dragons. And I was like, it hurts.
The movie was so bad that they cut the cameo of the original writer out.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus.
If we're going to talk bad CG and adaptation movies, should we take a second and talk about the Spawn movie?
Nobody gives a fuck about Spawn.
I know.
Nobody cares. It's Spawn. Fuck it.
Yeah.
When McFarlane's house burned down in the California fire a couple decades back, I was happy. It meant less Spawn showing up on the shelves.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, I mean, it's no Green Lantern, but it was bad.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the bad ones, too.
What's our topic today? I thought, are we just like trashing movies?
Well, no, we seem to have a mix going of good and bad adaptations, and I just mean there are a select group of movies I do not acknowledge their existence. One of which being The Last Jedi.
Okay, fine. For an adaptation that's really weird from comic books to movies, AVP.
Oh, God, the second one was so bad.
The second one was bad. In fact, the one thing that made the first time they did it a saving grace was when the Predator put the mark of the hard shells on the main actress. That was right out of the books.
You mean when a human actually earned their spot among the Predators?
Yeah.
And showed them to not just be a bunch of dude bros who hunt stuff for fun?
Yeah, dude bros. We're going to Earth for a kegger and pull out some spines.
Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, in Predator 1 and 2, it was never I guess more Predator 2. It was never established that the Predators were dude bros in any ways. I mean,
they are after our autism.
yeah, I mean, they were just shown to be hunters, you know, just like hunters who went after the biggest and the toughest, and, you know, they didn't, because I think there was like that scene in the movie, you know, where it wouldn't kill like the pregnant woman. You know, it showed that they had some ethics, so they had a little bit of honor to them, you know. If they thought you were worth the fight, then they would take you on. But if you were either A, like a woman with child, or, you know, someone who was like, I guess like a parent figure, you know?
Or differently abled.
Yeah, if you couldn't provide a challenge, or they saw that you had a purpose outside of fighting, they wouldn't go after you, you know?
Dude, they were basically what Klingons should have been.
Yeah. With weird vagina mouths.
And they weren't blue, and, you know, the pale ones were outcasts.
Yeah, so weird. I mean, and if we're talking about adaptations, I mean, one of my favorites has got to be, and I know people are going to have mixed feelings, but the movie Stardust. First time I ever saw that, it was on a bootleg my uncle picked up. One of my favorite writers. You guys have heard me talk about him tons and tons of times. But, I mean, a lot of the work he's done has been really good. The American God series, I've got mixed feelings about it. I need to finish season 1 before I start season 2, but I love the book. I'm hyped as a motherfucker about Good Omens coming out, and I think it'll be another good adaptation, because Neverwhere was a good, well, it's kind of debated whether it was a book written from the movie or a movie made from the book, whatever, but that was good work, and that's someone where the original writer is super involved in it, just like Game of Thrones, right?
So we're getting to the elephant in the room now.
Yeah. Don't worry. We are going to do a post-season 8 review of the series. And I'm sorry, guys. I called it on the Green Dragon. I knew that was going to happen.
I called it on Daenerys 2 years ago.
True.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I said she was going to be the bad guy 2 years ago. She was going to flip out. Where are my dragons? Oh, where's my throne? Fuck. How did it come to this? The first 4 seasons were fucking phenomenal and great.
Well, that's when George R. R. Martin was still involved, right?
It was still when he, it was involved, and in the 8 years since Game of Thrones has been made, he stopped writing books entirely for Game of Thrones, but has done a bunch of other projects.
Because he just needed to wash his palate of the shit.
I don't give a fuck if he needed to wash his palate of this shit. He's done, like, a bunch of other projects on the side. They ran out of source material. Now the show is tanking. Sure, Weiss and Benioff, they deserve a lot of the blame, but at the same token, so does R. Pirate Martin.
I think that was the saving grace for Lord of the Rings, and what made the Hobbit movies watchable was the fact that
the author
Tolkien was dead.
Tolkien is dead.
But, oh god, speaking of horrible adaptations and writers that are dead, all the Dr. Seuss movies they made there in, the early 2000s? Yeah, the live actions. Oh my god. The fucking Cat in the Hat scarred me inside. It hurt my inner child, man. That was bad.
Right? Talking about the Cat in the Hat makes me want to commit a hate crime right now.
Damn it, I'm sitting right next to him. But yeah, like, those were bad, man. The Grinch, my grandma took me to see it, and I was just like, no.
Yeah.
I liked the animated version of the Grinch movie.
I liked the original or the remake?
I'm not sure. But it was shortly before Jim Carrey took the role. Jim Carrey did a really good job of the Grinch. I am not at all a fan of this Cumberbatch variant. I like Cumberbatch, but at the same time, the Grinch is not a fuzzy-feely character. He's an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. There's a guy I watch on YouTube, and would highly recommend to all our listeners to go check him out. His series he does is called Brain Dump by a Hot Diggity Demon. He's the creator. But he talks about that, because it's like, yeah, the Grinch is not supposed to be, like a touchy-feely type. I mean, yeah, it's Dr. Seuss, but like in the other thing, like his teeth are all straight and pearly white in the animated movie, like even just in the trailers. Like, he doesn't look like, whereas as opposed to the original cartoon, his teeth are all yellow and crooked and like really gnarly looking, like he's never heard of a toothbrush. Like, that seems more like a Grinch to me.
Well, he lived in the dump.
Yeah, exactly. He lived in the dump, but in this new animated one, nice, clean teeth. You know, nothing scary there.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I really think it's just the uber softening of
culture.
Yeah, the culture where everything's got to be soft, and I mean, even
Soft,
the
fuzzy.
Lorax, man. Like the Lorax actually had a story of like, don't fuck up,
Yeah.
and now it's just like, oh, do whatever you want. Wee.
Here's a crossover for you. The Paralorax.
Oh god.
There you go, you yellow ring wearing bastards. The Paralorax. Take that with you.
You know what? I would have preferred that over what they did in the Green Lantern movie. But yeah, I mean, there are so many things that have been adapted back and forth. I mean, like the shitty Transformers movies. I hated it from day one, and you can ask my family, a bunch of my older friends that I've known forever. I was the biggest Transformers fan in the world, right? Well, maybe not in the world, but I was the biggest Transformers fan in my group of friends, in my neighborhood, in the part of town I grew up in.
Yeah.
But those movies, as soon as I saw that the Transformers looked like stripped down mechs from anime from God knows when, I didn't like it. I didn't like the story when I watched it. And I even went out and bought the goddamn book that was the adaptation of like the prequel stuff they wanted to do. And it was bad.
I still like the fact that they fucked up. Hardcore is that the background, the Decepticons were the good guys. In the very beginning, that they were the resistance, the rebel fighters who were like fighting for everybody to have the right to be individuals.
Yeah.
And the Autobots were like, no, we're by being together the way we are, we're a society that works forward. And the Decepticons are like, but what if we have personal interests?
Individual rights?
What if we have individual rights? And then they fought a war, and now the Decepticons are the bad guys because, well, I don't know. They're weird.
Because victim points.
Ah.
Because they have a leader named Megatron who has a really deep, gravelly voice.
More power to him if that's your kink, but fucking hell.
Yeah.
Like, I remember watching those movies. The Megatron was actually kind of a scary badass, and I liked it because I'm like, this dude's going places.
He was the best part of those movies. That scene with Jazz where he like flies him up to the skyscraper, and Jazz is all trying to tough. You want a piece of me? You want a piece? No, I want two, and rips him in half. That's beautiful,
Right?
Now, hold on, guys. About the Decepticons were the original good guys. Does that mean Optimus Prime is a truck of peace?
Well played, sir. Well played.
Anyways, but yeah, those were bad, and I think it's kind of been happening for a long time. I mean, hell, we had Escape from L.A., Escape from New York, which were the
Autobots, Durka Mohammed Jihad.
But you know, we had those movies where Escape from L.A., Escape from New York, where they were not, Metal Gear Solid, but they were.
Call me Snake.
Pliskin.
But yeah, it's just one of those things that we've seen these over a long period of years. I mean,
Yeah.
hell, wasn't it a bunch of the old horror movies, Freddy, Jason, Chucky and all that? Oh god, the new Chucky adaptation looks horrible.
Is what's his name? I can't pronounce his Bordriff. The guy who originally voiced him, is he going to be Chucky in this, or?
It's Mark Hamill.
As far as I know about adaptations during the 80s splatterfest horror genre, when it came out, the only one that really comes to mind right off the top of my head is The Thing.
Yeah.
Which is based off of, like, old pulp stuff. The Thing started back then with the Lovecraftian kind of prototype going on with it, with the, people being isolated and off in a research center that's away from other people, trapped with a horrible monstrosity. And it started in pulp, went along, and hit the comics. When they started the Comics Code Authority, as far as I remember, that's when we got a bunch of the horror magazines, like Tales from the Crypt, which had a really good series, in my opinion. Tales from the Dark Side was another adaptation, which was also fucking phenomenal in my opinion. The one short they did with Radon Chong blew my fucking mind as a kid. I mean, it's just a twist. Ooh, what a twist! But the thing during the 80s was one of the first that I know of that was a direct horror adaptation from an earlier era.
Yeah.
Sorry not to cut you guys off, but just because you mentioned Tales from the Dark Side, I still think that show has one of the best, like, just creepy intros of any sort of paranormal themed show. Because the theme to that show still legitimately spooks me. It's unsettling. I like it.
Well, I know what I'm playing during game now.
Well, the whole damn show was unsettling.
Yeah.
Excuse me. That was one of the ones that, voice crack. And I'm old. Nice.
Wow.
Second puberty, Wakanda 2.0. The Tales from the Dark Side was one of the more adult ones that they did. It was actually cerebral in nature. That's what I really liked about it, is while watching it, you had to wrap your head around what was going on.
Yeah.
It wasn't just in your face visceral gore the whole way through.
Yeah. Those good old days of horror anthology shows.
Yeah.
Well, so, this topic goes both ways. What about movies to video games that were just sad garbage?
They do that?
Toy Story.
All of them, pretty much.
All of the Toy Story games.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Okay, so then if I'm going to rain my parade on one, it'll be the Game of Thrones mobile game.
I'm not
Where
even surprised.
All it is pay to win. That's it.
No.
Just pay to win, constant PvP. Whoop-de shit.
Hold on, we have to bring up one of the originals then. E.T. That game. Oh my god. You probably remember when it came out.
Yeah, I do.
How bad was it?
How bad was it? Just
Like on a scale of 1 to 100 swamp asses.
99.
Not 100.
Not 100.
Wow.
It had graphics.
Oh, real quick. By the way, people, our new rating format, because guess what? We're going to start rating stuff and reviewing shit like real podcasters. If it's good, we give it stars. Little smiley stars.
Oh, we are?
That's my system I'm coming up with, and I'm making it canon.
Oh, I thought for our next project we were going to rate things by, like, how stiff it made you.
No, we're going to do more than that.
Topics, not
This
Because-
game was like half a chub, so it's about 3 stars.
This game was good. I like the graphics, had good sound design, but it only left me at half-mast, so I'm going to have to say 6 out of 10.
This one was just like a couple of drops of pre-squirt. I mean, it was phenomenal, but not all the way there.
But no, I want to do a rating system where we give it little smiley stars, because you're always going on about, oh, you finish your character sheet and it's legible. You get a smiley star. Back from when we used to game. But, and then if it's bad, we give it 1 to 100 swamp asses.
I'll have to, then, yeah, I'm starting off ET at 99 swamp asses.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's had graphics that were, for the time, we're talking like 4-bit, but for the time the graphics were actually pretty good.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've seen gameplay. The thing about that E.T. game was, well, you know, the movie came out, Atari bought the rights, and they wanted a video game in time for Christmas 1980, what was it, 7?
I believe
87,
they got the rights before the movie came out and wanted the game out for the holidays without ever having seen the movie.
Well, no, I think they saw the movie. What happened was they wanted the game out in time for Christmas because E.T. was super huge. Production on the game did not start until mid to late July that same year.
Okay, we want to talk about a bad game that's based off of a movie. Strangely enough, also based off of a video game. Street Fighter. Yeah, I played it one time. Strangely enough, though, the Predator and Aliens vs. Predator games, it turned out to be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, they hold up pretty well. However, most adaptations suck balls.
Yeah, it was... I'm still waiting for them to make a Tank Girl game. I want that to happen.
Or, you know, you've
That'd
always
be
got
fun.
the other
Yeah.
superhero games that come out. I mean, like, Shit, Spider-Man's like the only good one in recent years.
I would.
He used the clarifier in recent years.
You know what's a good video game adaptation of a movie was the Lord of the Rings video games, like the old ones. Those ones were actually pretty fun. I had the Two Towers, and that
game actually made you work for it too.
Yeah, it really did.
Like trying to be the archer. That's playing life in hard mode.
Yeah, and it was pretty cool to play as Gimli, and instead of using a bow and arrow for his range attack, he would just throw axes. I got to one point where one of the berserker urukais came up on me, and he had just like the game glitched out because, after a certain amount of arrows get stuck in them, they're supposed to start to, switch out so they have a set amount. Well, the game glitched, and he had like 10 axe handles sticking out of his chest, and he was still berserking at me.
Yes, fun. Because everyone in the video game has a magic bag of holding with infinite ammo back then.
That would be the arcade version of Shinobi when you get into the shuriken round.
Oh, God.
You're holding like 3 shurikens in your hand, literally on screen. And, of course, at the time, the graphics were fucking mind-boggling phenomenal. Now they wouldn't hold up to, a fucking cellophane
retro.
cup. But, yeah, you're throwing shurikens at other ninjas who are jumping around on screen, but you're holding 3, but somehow throwing like 7 million. Just, and you're like, what the fuck? How? Where? Bag of holding.
Ancient ninja art.
Ancient ninja magic.
Yeah. Oh, God, you guys just reminded me of something.
Oh, crap.
The Lion King video game.
Oy.
What was it? 2-4? The impossible level?
Did you guys see the...
I remember that as a very, very challenging game because it was just a platformer with shitty platform dynamics.
I got kicked out of a house because of that video game.
What the fuck?
Tell the story.
Speak.
This was, of course, back in the SNES days when they were still king and, the PlayStation had not hit the market yet. And yeah, I was over at somebody's house and there was a couple of college-age guys, a couple of years older than me, playing the Lion King, and I just started, saying stuff about the game that they didn't like. So it wasn't the fact that level 2-4 was impossible, it was the fact that my opinions were impossible.
Well,
you guys have seen the Chinese bootleg of the Lion King game, right?
Oh, God.
Do you guys know what happens when you get a game over?
No.
Doesn't he hang himself?
Yeah, Simba freaking hangs himself. It says game over. He puts a little rope around his neck and...
Wow, the dark side.
So, Simba was hanging himself before there was only Monica. I'm sorry, I'm making a little reference there. I noticed you shaking your head. Yeah, I'm talking about Doki Doki Literature Club.
That was a good game. See, I think it peaked.
Dude, walking in on that girl when she hung herself, fucking A, right in the feels.
Yeah, see, I mean, I really liked Doki Doki Literature Club, but it kind of peaks at that, because after that, it's all just downhill. Then it kind of goes into the, Sonic.exe territory, where it's like, ooh, their eyes are bleeding, woo, but yeah, it was good up until Sayori kills herself, and I don't think that was so much horror, so much it was just genuinely sad.
It was.
Because they portrayed depression a little too accurately with her. Where the scene right before, in spoilers, I guess we should have said.
There's no spoilers at this point. The game's been out for like 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, if it's a spoiler to you at this point, that's your own damn fault. Don't blame me or us. But
Blame him. Do
it! But, before you find that she hangs herself, it starts out your faceless, nameless protagonist of, your anime dating sim. You think she's kind of annoying. She invites you to the literature club. You start to hang out with her. You find out, oh, I should not have been a shit to you all of these years during the crucial times of our life. And then there's a scene where she's like, it finally comes out that she's dealing with some really bad demons, and you decide, all right, I'm going to redeem myself with her, I'm going to be the best friend. I'm going to be there for her. Everything is going to be good. I'm going to be Sayori's best friend. Walk into school. Hey, where is she? I should go check on her. Oh.
Yeah, it's right in the feels, dude.
Yeah, I was...
Speaking of right in the feels.
Felt dirty after that.
For something made from a video game into a movie, Resident Evil movies. It hit me right there in the, I used to love these games. Ow, this hurts.
Can we have Doki Doki Literature Club the movie?
The first Resident Evil I was okay with.
After that, it all kind of went to shit, didn't
It started out, the opening intro hits with Marilyn Manson working that musical melody shit that he does.
Fuck yeah. Fucking
magical.
Mm-hmm.
And, you get to Alice, she's laying in the tub, you're like, why is she knocked out? And there was that mystery thing. And then, they did like that graphics and shit, which were awesome as fuck.
They actually kind of hold up.
They held up pretty well. And, the Red Queen, she's kind of a biatch.
Mm-hmm.
And you got your tough character ensemble, who are, of course, faceless NPCs who are going to die because they're not one of the first ones on the splash screen.
Their name does not appear.
Their name does not appear. Like, some of the puppets they had off camera were making actors uncomfortable because they were just so ghoulish.
That's cool.
The scene where the guy gets killed in the laser room, they actually had like a pull-apart puppet.
Huh.
They CGI enhanced it afterwards, for the liquid.
Yeah.
But all the solid stuff was a pull-apart puppet.
Oh, that's badass.
So after the lasers go through them, they have this pull string, and the whole puppet just comes apart in this giant grid pattern. So that's how they pulled that effect off.
Huh.
Yeah.
I've actually never seen the Resident Evil movies. I'm going to have to go watch them now.
Yeah, they were doing...
That sounds fantastic.
Okay, you have homework.
I do have homework.
The first movie was a lot of practical effects combined with CGI. And the CGI, of course, you can tell.
Well, nowadays. Then that was the most cutting edge shit.
That was very cutting edge. The problem was the movie was successful in a time when sequels are made for everything.
Yeah.
And the sequel made money.
And so the sequel got a sequel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the movie was good enough the first time around that it merited a bunch of sequels that retconned the storyline or added crazy shit in.
Not to keep going back to Mortal Kombat, but seeing as how that's how it happened, I think I'm kind of happy that we only got one shitty sequel for Mortal Kombat. Because can you imagine if that had come out nowadays, where it had just been good enough, so, hey, have 5 billion sequels.
We live in the time of member berries, right?
Yeah.
You say it, you have just jinxed it, man. It's happening.
God
it's probably already sold. People are making deals. Someone just bought a new house.
Nobody asked for it, but you are getting Alf.
What?
What?
Yes. It's already in the plans to make Alf come back to the TV, the sitcom. It was good enough at the time. Now, if you want to get worse about this, and we're going to go way back in the memberberry territory, I'm going back to the bad memberberries in the back of the basket that the other people have forgotten about.
The
ones that remember what the original Stormtroopers were?
Exactly. There's also plans in the work to remake Captain Power.
Why?
Yes.
Why?
Yes,
Why?
Captain Power. There are legitimate plans right now, according to the internet buzz, to bring that TV show back.
What's next? Great American Hero?
That was...
I hate that show.
I think we should quit while we're ahead, otherwise
Yeah.
we're going to jinx it, and everything we bring up, there's going to be some Hollywood sleazebag who listens to our podcast and be like, hey.
Yeah, well, we're already getting a Sonic movie that looks like hot ass.
Well, to be fair...
Whoa. Okay, Moniker, you start off the counter-assault here. I'll back you up.
To be fair, they are going back and redesigning him, which for a big Hollywood studio to do that, I think that's pretty cool of them.
Yeah, and I'm going to give them a little bit of props because they saw the outrage. The entire internet basically just hauled ass and told them to fuck right off with that design. And then now there's memes. There's fucking memes about Jim Carrey's back hurting because he's carrying the goddamn movie.
Yeah.
No, and to top it off, after the internet outrage, like a man, he said, hey, we realize there's a problem here and we're going to fix it. He didn't blame the fans. He didn't blame the video gamers. He didn't blame anybody. He didn't try to pull a victim card. He said, hey, we're going to go back and we're going to try to make this the best movie we can.
He owned up to it.
He owned up.
And you know what? Fucking props to him because that is such a rarity these days.
Yeah.
It's a lost art.
Yeah, well, thankfully they're deciding not to go woke and get broke.
Yeah.
But, I mean, besides that, there are so many things like fucking, I had it on tip of my tongue. It was after the Resident Evil stuff. Oh, fucking Woke Doom. Like I was never much into Doom. Like I didn't have a computer in the first place to play it, and when it did come out for console stuff, it was bad. But you know what it led me to? Halo. You guys ever seen any of the shitty Halo movies?
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of them.
I heard they exist.
Yeah, be thankful you ain't seen them. Because I watched the one on Netflix when it came out, like, ooh, this is kind of cool. Me and my roommates play this, back in college. And I watch it, and I'm like, wow. Now I realize why there's no, real story mode in this game.
Well,
and if there is, I don't pay attention because all we're doing is multiplayer shooter.
One of the big problems is a multiplayer shooter or there's a fighting game out. Most of the fighting games and shooter games do not have huge overlapping stories. They're not giant games that are basically movies in and of their own right. They're action games. That's all they are, is intensity from the moment you pick up the controller to set it down.
Bang, bang, pew, pew. Ha! I got that guy!
Yeah, I think, and I'm sorry to our listeners that we keep going back to it, but I think the only fighting game that comes to mind that has an overarching story is Mortal Kombat.
Street Fighter.
Does Street Fighter have
A really shitty one,
True, but it has a story.
Bison Bucks.
Yeah.
True. Oh, well, hell, wasn't there Soul Calibur? They haven't made a movie about it, thankfully.
What did we just say about jinxing things?
Yeah. If they can make DOA into a movie, they can make Soul Calibur into a movie. Thank you very much, you fucking twat.
Ooh, Span Sauce Way.
You know what I want? I don't think it would ever fly this
Double
day and
bacon
age.
cheeseburger?
Go back to painting fences.
Yes.
Go terrace my lawn.
You would need to own property first.
Well, I'm sorry, I was too busy buying and selling Irish people. Scotland the Brave! You can take my life, but you can't take my freedom and my Irish people. I'm going to hell.
Aren't we all
you
it's
English
fine.
bastards.
All right. We've agreed that we are all going to hell. I believe Monica was actually making an effort at a point.
Oh, I was just going to say, it would never fly today, but I think it would be so refreshing if, in my wildest fantasies, if they made a good Duke Nukem movie. Can you imagine?
Impossible. All the best actors for that are dead.
I know, but
Or super ancient, or woke.
yeah, but can you just imagine a movie about pretty much the straight white male fantasy running around, I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum and slap some alien titties. That would be beautiful.
Okay, a CG one, maybe.
Yeah, I could see a CG one. At least then it would do homage to the game it's supposed to.
Yeah. I just
That
think
would
that'd
be
be
kind of
a
The
lot
whole
of fun.
the whole point of Duke Nukem starting right out of the gate is it was a parody.
Yeah. Oh, I'm aware of that.
Yeah, most
Yeah.
people are not. Most people think that Duke Nukem is legit the way it is because that's what people want. And we're like, no, we're just making
fucking
fun of
fun.
shit.
Yeah, he's taking the piss out of characters like John Rambo or anything Arnold Schwarzenegger's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, in this day and age, we'll never get a Blazing Saddles. We'll never get a Monty
Oh, God,
Python
no.
anything.
Oh, God.
So-
Such a tragedy.
Well,
I
Monty
know, right?
Python has quit because of the way shit's going.
Yeah, and you know what's hilarious? Well, isn't part of his living crew actually going to the woke side?
Shit. I can't remember his name.
One of the Pythons?
One of the Pythons, the guy who was the super speedy, quick motherfucker in Baron Munchausen.
The skinny ass one with the giant schnoz.
Yeah, the skinny ass one with the giant snots. He was already going that direction a long time ago.
Which one did they play in Holy Grail? And I can tell you the name.
I don't think he was in that one. Wait, no, he played the French Knight, didn't he?
He was one of the French Knights. He was also one
John
of the
Cleese.
No, not John Cleese. It was. It was.
The Meaning of Life. He was the one who came out in the suit from the fridge and did the song about how life is meaningless and you might as well donate your organs today.
First of all, that scene disturbed me. When
Yeah,
I first
he
watched
had
it.
an English name, that's for sure.
I'm just gonna name them, and you guys pick out which one it was. Was it John
bro.
Cleese? Oh,
You have a cell phone right next to you.
I'm not gonna do it.
Pray to our Lord and Savior Google.
Fuck Google, go duck duck go.
Eric Idle.
Bing.
Ding dong.
That was it.
Yeah, it was Eric Idle.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's the youngest of them.
Yeah, he's been going that direction for years. It's already, you can tell by looking up his IMDb and some of the movies he's made and why he's made them. Yeah, you start delving into the guy's career and you can see he's already gone that direction. Before it was popular, he's like hipster SJW.
Well, see,
Patient Zero.
See, the fact that he was doing that before it was popular, I think I'm okay with him being that way then, because at least he's,
Consistent
and not jumping on the bandwagon,
True.
Or trying to save face. He, legitimately has he came to those conclusions on his own.
He's still willing also to be a little bit more risque than most of those others.
Yeah, that's why I still love all the pythons.
Because, humor. Sometimes you gotta be a little bit off of the fucking boat to be funny.
Yeah, it's like the Street Fighter movie. The only reason it's good is because you can tell at a point they just gave up.
Jackie Chan as Chun-Li. Wait, which movie was that?
That was
that was a Chinese knockoff movie.
No, that was a legit. It wasn't in an anime. Not Hunt.
No, I saw.
It was a straight up live action.
Yeah, it was straight up.
Yeah,
live action.
I know, but it was based off of something else that he played because he was a bounty hunter, and his buddy died, and he was taking care of his buddy's daughter. Because I remember the anime, and then my uncle was like, "You think that's great? Watch this," and it had Jackie Chan. I was like, "Ooh, cool!" And then I'm like, "This movie is weird."
This movie is weird.
Because I remember in the anime, the big thing was every time the guy Jackie Chan ended up playing in the live action one would hit on a chick, his best friend's daughter would show up with a giant mallet and just start chasing him and hit him over the head.
I think that's just a trope of...
No, it was a show, dude. Screw it. I'm turning to our Lord and Savior Google.
I'm beginning to think that Darth Blasphemous has spent one too many afternoon in Uncle Touchy's shirtless treasure dungeon.
No. My uncle was an original weeb, dude. He's the one who brought me into anime and gaming.
Like I said, Uncle Touchy's shirtless treasure dungeon.
Complete with fun smells.
I know, right? 2 coins for you, little boy.
Fucking white people. Why do you guys always go there first?
We don't, actually. Look at the FBI statistics. Neener. We're like third behind you for good reason.
Goddamn, after that FBI comment, we're going to get shut down here.
Oh god, I completely forgot Jackie Chan did the movie The Tuxedo.
As if we're not already being monitored by the FBI when I take a piss.
Yeah.
I mean, you are talking with an immigrant. If I'm not on their watch list, somewhere I'm on a watch list, just for that.
You're Canadian.
Yeah, and you think that's going to stop them from monitoring me?
What should be on a watch list right now? Seriously? Is some of these fucking movies that are coming out.
Like? Sonic the Hedgehog.
Everybody better be wearing their high waters because the flood's coming.
Oh god, he's twitching. He's got this eye twitch going on.
Actually, that's from a lack of sleep. Like that one movie with those people that do that stuff. You know? Yeah. Shit. My computer is all the way over there with my fucking, coming up shit. All of them just collided in my brain at the same time.
City Hunter. The movie was City Hunter where Jackie Chan dresses up as Chun-Li.
Damn it, dude. I was just almost there mentally.
Well, I can't wait for your analog ass to get there.
I was just thinking about, future MCU movies of what's coming out. And I'm like, okay, so that one just came out. That one just came out. That one just... It's about to tank. And then you're like, City Hunter.
Hello, I am Chitty Hunter.
City Hunter. Of course, for movies that are coming out that are probably not going to be on anybody's watch list. And I hate to say it at this point in time in my life, but anything saying Star Wars on the name.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hesitant about the new trilogy coming out in the 2020s.
From what I understand, they're remaking the original trilogy. The word is they want to remake. Disney wants to just scrap the original trilogy and then remake it.
That's just insult to injury.
Okay, can we start a petition? Legit, I will go and start a petition. I want everybody to sign, share, pass it around for them not to do that. It's our cultural heritage, goddammit.
Can we go back in time and...
Yeah, because petitions work. Last I checked, they don't.
Can we go back in time and maybe, influence a young George Lucas into a direction other than film? So we wouldn't have Star Wars to deal with today.
No, what we need to do is make it so that the companies that made Star Wars would keep on all the other directors who told George no. Otherwise, Star Wars would have been a total crap fest.
Better yet, go back in time and just let him direct Flash Gordon. We wouldn't have Star Wars if it wasn't for that.
True.
Or if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have gotten Star Wars, so. Just let him direct Flash Gordon. Would have been a shit movie. No Star Wars. Life would be good. I could walk down a Target and not see Star Wars brand fucking Band-Aids and M&Ms and... Pepsi.
You're just mad that Warhammer is dying.
Fuck you.
Warhammer's been dying for 20 years.
I know, right? This is like the vampire at the end of the Buffy movie.
And since we're talking in today's episode about shitty transitions, Warhammer has yet to put out a video game that has stood the test of time.
Well,
No, okay, since you're the Warhammer guy over there,
yeah.
name one Warhammer game which has like been like everybody's favorite for longer than 2 years.
Dawn of War, Dark Crusade.
Dead.
That's still the one people go back to, though.
That's what I think of that.
I actually heard that, and they're like, "What the fuck is that?" And I look over, and I'm like, "Oh." I mean, like, okay, so after the podcast, you want to play the Warhammer MMO?
Oh, Eternal Crusade?
Yeah.
Oh, I tried that. No, it crashed my computer.
Oh.
And I played, what was it? I played Space Marine. I like THQ, but that game was just horribly generic, and I think it was so weird that they, not retcon, but they changed it, so they pretty much made a new character, Captain Titus, as the captain of the second company when you already have Cato Sicarius, so it's like, why bother? But they did, and it was just standard. I mean, it was cool to see all the settings and whatnot, but that was really about it. I mean, the gameplay itself was nothing special.
You know, this brings us into an interesting area.
Good, because this is our last area we're going on. We're about at the 55-minute mark.
That's cool. It's probably going to edit down into 30. But, what about TV shows that transition into movies? Like Firefly. Everyone hypes up Firefly. I like it a bit, but within reason. I don't fanboy.
Firefly was such a tragedy, because, like, you could feel the anxiety, you could feel the tension, you could feel the reality that they were facing during production.
Overhyped.
Concur.
Well, maybe overhyped, but Fox also shot it in the goddamn face. Like, on release, their pilot episode was not supposed to be those 2 episodes. Those were the
mid-seasons, weren't they? Mid-season finale?
The actual pilot was 2 episodes, like most pilots of the era. Instead, they skipped to episode 3. Fox aired episode 3 as the first, and it fucking tanked because it started with a train robbery. And no establishment of any of the characters. But if you watch those first 2 episodes in the order that they're supposed to be in, the story makes sense. The reality makes sense. And there's enough backstory in there that you feel attached to the universe, to the characters, to the ship, to the people. And it feels right. It feels natural. And Fox, fucking Fox, decided in their infinite wisdom after setting them a list of demands, and then having them bend over backwards to accomplish that, oh no, we're just going to go with this other episode, which doesn't have the right material. It doesn't have the shit that they asked for, that they got. They used the season opening, the premiere 2 episodes, as the season finale. And that is why Fox can fuck all the dicks with razor blades.
Star Trek video games. All of them suck. I've played a lot of them.
Yeah.
The original on the NES? Oh my god, dude, for a puzzle game? I got to a point where I was sitting there, and even the strategy guide was like,
I got
shit,
nothing, bro.
I got nothing, boss.
Yeah, I mean, the transitions are, but back to the thing about shows that end up having movies.
Fucking The Simpsons?
Oh god, the Simpsons movie, fucking hell. There's so many that could have gotten a good transition into a movie to end it all. Some of them deserved it, most of them don't.
South Park.
I like the South Park movie, though.
The South
Well,
Park
that was a good one.
the South Park video game, Stick of Truth, was actually tough but playable.
Yeah. And I
And it
heard
had
good things
so
about
much.
the fractured butthole, too.
True.
I can't say that with a straight face.
Dude,
That's
they
the
wanted to run it straight.
I know, it's just,
And
I
they-
tried. It's
The
just
stores
like I
wouldn't
couldn't,
put
I
it
can't.
up, so he just played, the fucking main guy just played around with, how can I make it say the same thing, but be written different?
My favorite
Yeah.
part from that game is still
Fractured, but it's whole.
one of the bosses is freaking Jared from Subway, and Cartman's reaction to being trapped in a room with him is, fuck, it's Jared.
But yeah, I mean, those are some decent transitions. I mean, hell, there's the fucking Buffy movie. Oh, God. Mm,
The original was better.
yeah.
The original movie was good. Especially when they made fun of what's-his-fuck Soul Patch.
But, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that has translated badly and a lot of stuff that's translated quite well. I mean, just because I know we're coming up on time, let's go around the table. Everyone give the best example of a translation you've seen over from one media to another.
All right. If we're going to go that route, and I'm going to bring us full circle,
Ooh, circles.
Mortal Kombat, the series, was actually not that bad. Vampire, based off of the Vampire role-playing game, and hey, Tori Spelling is a gamer. That's how her old man found out about Vampire the Masquerade. That was the worst. It sucked. So hardcore. Gangrels are all bikers, Brujas are all whatevers, Nosferatus are all mopey motherfuckers. Talk about it wasn't Vampire the series, it was Stereotypes the series.
True.
It's like he read the clan description and said, "Hey, we'll make a TV show based off that."
Monica, you want the next?
And Kaz, do you have something just in mind already?
Yeah.
Go ahead then. I think I need to think about it for a little longer.
I think going from one form of media to another, I really liked the StarCraft lore that got put to books. In various, there's graphic novels, there's actual storybooks, and they're canon. There's only like, I don't know, a dozen of them, but they're good.
Note to our listeners, you can send us StarCraft adult-oriented pictures on our email, and Kazercat is guaranteed to already have those.
Or know where I can find them.
See?
Points for honesty. Let's see. Media transition that I really liked.
Yeah. You can do this.
I don't want to cop out an answer. Boss.
Do it.
Say what's on your mind.
Do it. Do it. Now you shall witness the firepower of this fully armed and operational invisible doggy fence.
I have to ask, does Escape from LA and Escape from New York, does that count as transitioning to video games via Metal Gear?
It's a soft transition.
Okay, that's my answer.
Okay,
In terms
fine.
of worst transitions, I got into the Percy Jackson series right from when the first book was released.
Oh, God.
And this is when I was first starting.
How old were you? 10?
I was like maybe 12 or 13.
I was close.
And I think I was that old anyway. I can't remember. But this is when I was really into mythology, because mythology is what got me into history. And then there's a Harry Potter-esque book series about Greek mythology. Fuck yeah. And I saw that was being made into a movie, went and saw it in theaters, and it just...
Blue chunks.
Oh, God.
Did you see the second one?
I didn't, and I have no plans to.
Don't. But you took what I was going to say for worst.
Yeah.
You know what? I am holding my breath, perhaps in vain, that the Wheel of Time adaptation to series is not a piece of shit. Because I really, really want that.
They're
not
doing
to
a
be.
Wheel of Time adaptation?
Yes, they are.
Oh, shit, I'm on board. I hope I share your wishes there, Kaz.
Yeah, I don't think you guys remember the Wrinkle in Time and how much that was a gut shot, both 1 and 2. That was both barrels.
Okay, well, that's it for our adaptations episode.
Hold on, let me get mine out there.
All right, get yours
So,
out there. Just 'cause
Worst
you have
one.
to. But this is the end of the episode, so I'm going to
Oh, yeah.
overrule you.
Worst
Go ahead
one
and
is
talk.
The Giver.
Right now.
The Giver is worst book and series and movie. It's terrible. But one of the best, one of the ones I actually really, really liked was
Do it.
Do it.
What you got for us, Darth Blasphemous?
Do it. Do it.
Quit sighing and just talk.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Do it.
All right, I felt that the Coraline movie was all right compared to the book. I read the book first, then I watched the movie. It was pretty good.
Dude, that's legitimately fair. Why were you hesitating?
Because I know I'm going to get a bunch of shit from the people who know all the actual lore and the little tidbits in the book, because I know it too. And yeah, they left a lot of shit out and totally retconned a few things, but fuck it. Later. Blasphemous out.
I like it.
Coraline was an interesting movie, but Khazar Khan out.
I still don't watch Game of Thrones. Moniker, bye-bye.
All right, well, that's it for our episode. Game Goblin signing out. And remember, you can find us on Podbean, which is our main hosting site. You can email us at bfgamershq@gmail.com if you have anything you want to suggest for us, or send us a message or hate mail or whatever. It doesn't matter. We also have a Twitter, which is majorly unused. Whatever.
Well, that's because none of us really bother about the
I-
ass farts that is Twitter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Twitter is a giant leaking ass fart. It's that weird chemical they put in chips to...
It is the giant internet cage of where monkeys are flinging their shit at each other.
It's kind of like a Faraday cage at this point of shit throwing.
Yeah.
Most of the shit just stays inside Twitter mostly now. But yeah, we exist there. And of course we're on iTunes. So see you next week.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Come visit us at our headquarters underneath an I-5 overpass.
Dude, not on live. We don't want the cops coming. It's bad shit.
Oh, the cops don't mess with us. We're homeless. We're protected.
For real.
We're not in San Francisco anymore.
No, but we are close to Seattle.
All right. Later, everybody. Deadpool is best transition.
I am uncreative today.